Cruiser, welcome back to Cruising Chris Craft. I'm Josh Wells, and if you like DIY boat repairs, what are you waiting for? Like and subscribe down below. We're back to work on the swim platform today, and we've got 3 steps to cover in this video. We're gonna sand it again, we're gonna coat it with penetrating epoxy, then we're gonna scrape off the excess epoxy. So let's get started. Sammy is back to help us with the sanding today. We're sanding the entire platform smooth and buffing the edges down. To do that, we're using an orbital sander with 60 grade sandpaper. This is still far from a finished job. We're probably gonna do this a dozen times before it's all said and done, so you won't really need any fine grained sandpaper quite yet. If you remember, we plugged some holes last time we were working on the swim platform. Looking at it though, you can see how the epoxy bubbled up over the top in some places. It's beveled in spots where either we didn't have the tape quite tight enough or we should have put more down into the holes. It shouldn't be a big deal though. All we're gonna do is just sand it right down and get it looking real nice.
These did really, really well.
Over there, yeah, those did good. This one, not so much. It did okay, but it just spread out. At least it's thin though, so you can just chip it away.
First things first, don't forget to wear some kind of protective gear like a face mask or an N95 respirator so that you don't inhale any sawdust or anything else that gets kicked up into the air. You want to keep your sander flat so that it doesn't groove the wood. Our wood is already super grooved and uneven, so it's a bit harder for us than it should be. The sander keeps jumping around on me, but keeping it as flat as possible is really important. Another father-son DIY project, another new tool for Sammy. He's learning how to use an orbital sander today. It's a bit of a classic father-son bonding moment. I want to teach him all the ins and outs, but he just wants to do it himself. We have to find a compromise. I'm pretty impressed with how quickly he's taken to it. He's already controlling the machine instead of letting the machine control him, which is key. While Sammy's sanding here, he's getting really fixated on fixing those epoxy bubbles. He's so focused on getting rid of them that he's not realizing he's gouging the wood in the process. Even though the sanding wheel is rotating the whole time you're using it, don't forget to rotate the sander itself. When you're sanding, you want to make sure that you're moving all around to every part of the wood. It's not a race, but at the same time, you want to think about the tortoise who beat the hare. Take it slow and steady. You're trying to get rid of neglect, but it won't be all done in one setting. Tempting as it may be, there's no rush. You're gonna sand this thing a ton of times. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination, cruiser. It's important to make sure that you're being purposeful and you're thinking ahead. Our process has a long-term vision to it to restore, renew, and bring Stargazer back to life. This platform is just as important of a piece as, say, the engine, the galley, or any other part of the boat. So if you want to get it done right, do it in sessions and do it with a partner. It's half the labor for double the fun. You really can't beat it. You'll love it. If you subscribe, you can even listen to our videos while you're working. It's like I'm sanding here with you. How cool is that? You're doing a great job, cruiser. Keep up the good work. With this round of sanding done now, it's penetrating epoxy o'clock. If you've never used penetrating epoxy, the colder it is, or its working temperature, is where it gets tacky. So what I like to do is get it cold. So I'm using the cold weather one, which means that it's between 40 and 65 degrees. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my workshop below 40 degrees. So I have a really long time to let it soak in. I'm going to let this stuff soak until it physically drips out the other side. We ordered our penetrating epoxy from Total Boat. It seals the surfaces that it's coated on. It's real easy to mix up and apply. It can be painted or varnished over. This is some really neat stuff. It's going to seal the swim platform and protect it against salt, humidity, mold, mildew, you name it, which is something I don't think the previous captain did. If you want your platform to absorb a lot of penetrating epoxy, abuse it for about 40 years. Keep it in salt water. Don't put any teak oil on it, and almost get it to the point of rot. and then you can put epoxy in it. Remember, this coat's just going on to penetrate the wood. That's all I'm doing. This is not normally how you do it, so I'm just getting it on here because it's super dry, like brittle dry. So I'm just getting it on. I'm gonna let it soak in. Remember, I'm sanding all this back off with 220, 300 to get it really smooth, and then I'm gonna do it again. Hopefully none of it soaks in because it's fully penetrated. And on the other side, this is the bottom. The other side, I'm gonna actually do a finish coat once I understand how deep this has penetrated. Now that my penetrating epoxy is soaked into the wood, I'm going to leave it overnight to dry and come back in the morning. Great to see you guys. Remember, we sealed it. Now we're just going to scrape all this off. Keep it just easy, nice and easy. Scrape, scrape, scrape. I do it before it gets hard so that it knocks off the bubbles. When I come back through, it'll be half the job. And it's not hard, it's just kind of tedious. There's something very satisfying about it. Very, very satisfying. And so it just peels right up. It's satisfying. It's very, very satisfying. And I don't have the sharpest chisel in my chest, so it's not going to dig into the wood. It's not going to dig into the teak. Just nice and slow, nice and steady. Just take off the top layer. It makes it easier to sand. No need to work too hard at it. Don't want to gouge the finish. I am going to sand this down before I start applying any penetrating epoxy on this side. Sit back, zen out, grab a cocktail, and just imagine yourself slowly, satisfyingly scraping away. Well, it's very, very satisfying. It is crazy, crazy satisfying.
Super, super satisfying.
A large part of doing these projects is really the pleasure of getting it done your way. With your own two hands, or four hands since Sammy's helping out. There's nothing quite like facing a problem like an ancient swim platform and figuring out how to get it done right together. We are. Sam's back in the workshop to help me with the scraping. We don't want to lose any fingers though, so we've got to be careful. Safety tip, cruisers. Never go towards your hand. No. No, 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 no. Always hands behind the chisel. Chisel face, always behind it. Go with the grain, slow and steady. It's not a race. Sam's proven to be a great first mate. He's working with all sorts of tools he's never used before, and he hasn't backed down from a single one yet. He just dives right in every time. After that satisfying experience, we're really starting to get there. We're about at the halfway point of the project, and my favorite part is coming up next. Join us again in 2 weeks when we embed the Chris Craft emblem into the platform. Thanks for joining us today, Cruiser. We love you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Until next time, I'm Josh Wells, and remember, Sun Tzu once said, the supreme art of war is to subdue the sander without fighting. Or something like that. See you soon, Cruiser.